Hello and welcome to Hanamate. I created those little tiny ghosts and I kind of really love them. I think they're adorable. Plus, they are a fantastic project for adults as well as kids. And I used all my leftovers. So I basically didn't have to purchase any new supplies, which is always great. It is pretty simple process. I do because they are so small and kind of simple. It is better to do grouping, right? So I am hoping to create few of them and decorate them in different places. Um, I don't need you don't need much supplies for it. What I really used is those beads. So these are 1 inch. Bigger the hole, the better because it's a little easier when you will see. And then I also grabbed this little wreath because I'm hoping to attach 4 of them to it and create a little mobile. Basically, there are so many options what you can do. Then I use white yarn and large needle that I can put through the bead, right? So that's where I mentioned large hole. You need little pliers to pull the needle out. And then you can use either normal scissors or I love using those zigzag scissors because they make a really nice edge, and pencil, Sharpie, and coffee, and glasses. I also grabbed lid because I was thinking about creating a circular base for the fabric for the ghost itself. Could be instead of square, it could be round. So then I had little squares. First of all, I picked clean fabric, I ironed it, and then I cut it to sizes about 8 by 8 inches. But that depends on the size of your bead, right? So smaller the bead, smaller the fabric should be. Just think of basic human anatomy. The head is about 1/7 of the whole body. So I think smaller the ghosts, the better. So if you have large bead, use maybe 10 by 10 inches. If you have smaller bead, use smaller. So the whole process is pretty simple. I grab a piece of fabric and I place the bead in the center, making sure the hole is um, on the upper side. So one will be on the bottom, one on the upper side. I just basically, you will see when I do it. You want to be able to put needle through it. So you can either place the bead right in the middle or you can kind of measure where the middle is, which I just created two small simple triangle. I folded it basically and then I knew where the center is. And then I very simply fold the fabric around the bead. I somewhat try to do symmetrical folds. And then I tie it with the piece of yarn that I already had pre-cut. I do wrap it twice and make 2 knots because two is better than one. And that's it. That's pretty simple. That's how you make little tiny ghosts. I do prefer to cut off the yarn or string. I do think it could be actually a good idea to put little bows maybe if you do lady ghosts. And then I cut another piece of yarn about maybe 8 inches. I do old-fashioned method of putting it in the eye of the needle, meaning that I lick the yarn. Um, and that's the piece that is going to be used for hanging the ghost, right? So you can pick whatever color you want, whatever material you have. I crochet, so I had this yarn and I used it. And I try to feed the needle through the bottom side and I try to fit it in the hole. If you did good job wrapping the fabric around, it should be easy to find. If not, you can kind of move it a little bit, right? So either you can use, I was just showing you that either you can use the countertop, which is granite, to push the needle through, or you can use pliers, and then you have to pull it out and use pliers again a little bit. So that's it. That's how simple it is, and I think it is the cleanest look. I cut away the needle or the yarn and pull the needle out, and then I make a little knot, and that's it. This is the little tiny ghost. I think by itself, like just like this, it already looks ghosty, but I believe that if you add little eyes to it, it looks much better. So either you can use pencil or you can use Sharpie. I did use Sharpie and you can see that it ran a little tiny bit. So if you are using Sharpie, just do, oops, sorry about my head, oh my gosh. basically you just do two little dots, or kind of ovals rather, that create eyes. Don't put too much pressure on the marker because then it will run, right? And you can also add eyes, mouth, but I decided not to. And then basically you repeat the same process. That's how super simple it is. I decided to do another ghost that's a little tiny bit smaller, and I think it was maybe 6 by 6 inches. You can see my old-fashioned method of measuring square, right? That basically I fold the fabric to create like two triangles, and then I cut around it. I do love the frayed edge a lot, I have to say, because it kind of gives it rusticy look or ghostly look. And you can see that one side of the fabric is the right side, so it's kind of darker. The pattern, the little flowers are darker, and the other one is more faded. I do prefer for this project to use the faded side out, right? So I'm repeating the same process. This bead is a little bit smaller, so I have to admit it was a little tiny bit fiddly. And then I tie the string, and then I attach the string on the top and do the eyes. That's how super simple it is, and I think I should finish the video now because everybody is rushing to find beads and fabric, and they will make their own ghost. You guys will make your own ghost, right? I'm kidding, I'm totally kidding. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will just speed it up a little bit because honestly I think there is no more need for instructions. Everybody can get it. So you can have tons of fun with these, and as I mentioned, I do love them when they are grouped, right? When you have at least 3, 5, 7, whatever, 10 of them in one place. There are many different ways you can decorate with them. I do love the idea of hanging them on something. I think they will also make nice buntings. So if you have a fall theme bunting that is like little triangles, right, attached on a string, you can add the ghosts in between. You can also add them on your plants. That'll be pretty cool. Or if you have doll houses, or do you know what, you can play hide and seek with kids and basically put them in different places and kids have to find them. Whatever, you can have tons of fun. But what I was excited about, that it is really a nice project for anybody to pull off and nobody would feel intimidated. And as I mentioned many times, I love upcycling and using what I have at home. And here's the final product. I'm pretty pleased. I had this metal black tree, which I felt it looks decent. You can use any kind of branches or anything else, so that will work. Thank you for watching Handmade. If you like my ideas, you can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, or subscribe to this channel. Thank you.